Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming tonight. Good evening. My name is Louis Polito of the Belmar Public Library, and on behalf of the staff and the Board of Trustees of the Belmar Library, welcome to the 2026 Juneteenth Celebration Concert. Okay? We sit here tonight surrounded by the symbols and signs of Juneteenth, including the official Juneteenth flag, and the story of Juneteenth banner over here, designed and drawn by the library's own Bruce Fahey. We have indulged in the tastes of Juneteenth. How was the sandwiches? Were they good? I want to thank ShopRite of Belmar for the sandwiches, and Sweet Teas of Belmar for the hibiscus tea. So I hope that was everyone enjoyed that too, right? And we will soon be enjoying the sights and sounds of Juneteenth, as performed for us by the Universal African Dance and Drum Ensemble, the John Luckenbill Orchestra over here, and spoken word artist James C. Ellerbe. So what we're going to do is, the original plan was the dancers to perform first, but unfortunately they're going to be a few minutes late. So when I'm done, we're going to all turn and face, and John's going to start, and then when the dancers come here, they'll come up and they'll do their thing as well, and then we go back to the orchestra, and James Ellerbe will be mixed in with the orchestra. All right? So that's how we'll enjoy tonight. But as we do, let's bear in mind the message behind Juneteenth and how it relates to us today. As we celebrate Juneteenth, we honor the day freedom was finally enforced for the last enslaved African Americans in Texas. But we also recognize that the promise of freedom and equality has always been a work in progress. In his poem, Let America Be America Again, the poet Langston Hughes gives voice to those who have too often been excluded from the nation's ideals, and reminds us that America is not only a place, but also a promise, one that must continually be renewed through justice, opportunity, and dignity for all people. Juneteenth calls us to remember that the struggle for equality did not end with emancipation. It invites each generation to help bring the nation closer to the vision of liberty and inclusion that Hughes so powerfully imagined. So as we listen to his words, let us reflect on how far we have come as a nation and the work that remains before us. Let America Be America Again, by Langston Hughes, written 1936. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro, bearing slavery scars. I am the red man, driven from the land. I am the immigrant, clutching the hope I seek, and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I'm the young man, full of strength and hope, yet tangled in that ancient endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker, sold to the machine. I am the Negro, servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean. Hungry, yet today, despite the dream, beaten, yet today, Oh, pioneers, I'm the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker bartered through the years. Yet I'm the one who dreamt our basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings in every brick and stone, in every furrow turned, that's made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed these early seas in search of the one who left, in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who left dark Ireland's shore and Poland's plain and England's grassy lea. And torn from black Africa's strand, I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Certainly not me. The millions on relief today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamed and all the songs we've sung and all the hopes we've held and all the flags we've hung, the millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that's never been yet and yet must be. The land where every man is free. The land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, me. The land who's made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain. From those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land again, America. Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath, America will be. Out of the rack and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and rot of graft and stealth and lies, we, the people, must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, and the endless plain, all the stretch of these great green states, and make America again. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. And with that, I will pass it on to the John Luckenbill Orchestra, who'll start the show.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out to this very special and exciting Juneteenth program. We have an exciting concert here for you. I'm not sure if it'll be quite as exciting as the ticker tape parade today, but I did hear on, but we're going to try, but I did hear on the news that after the parade, a lot of people were stuck in the subway for over 2 hours, so that doesn't sound like the greatest amount of fun for me, so I'm glad I stayed in New Jersey here, even though I'm a Knick fan. So, and this is the John Luckenbill Pops Band we have up here. We play here all summer, every single Monday night, starting on July 6th, and we have 9 straight concerts. In case you're interested to get on our mailing list, my wife is over there, has some flyers, and you get a little sign up. She raised her hand over there. She's sitting in the blue chair. But all the concerts are free. We have a different program, different theme every single week. So if you enjoy the concert, get on our mailing list. Even if you don't enjoy it, get on our mailing list. So, but we're here every single Monday night, air-conditioned Taylor Pavilion, starting at July 6th and going all the way to the end of August. As I said, we have a great program. Our narrator for tonight, Tom Mavakian, is going to walk you through our program. Feel free to make a 90-degree switch if you want to see, get a little exercise tonight, switching ways, and our next program, next part of the presentation will be up there. So whatever makes you comfortable, or whatever is good for your neck. So.
Right, the exercise is part of the program. Good evening, everybody, and we'd like to thank the Belmar Public Library for making us a part of this evening's celebration. We're here on this Juneteenth Eve to celebrate the many contributions to the world of music made by Black Americans as composers, as performers, and in other capacities too, including members of this very band. And we'd like to start with the South Rampart Street Parade. South Rampart's been called the Harlem of New Orleans. And, oh, that's the way you say, you know, in New Jersey you say New Orleans, but it's New Orleans. This song celebrates its famous second line parades. Now, whatever the occasion, from wedding to funeral to any kind of celebration, the celebrants are in the front line, and right behind them in the second line come the musicians. And so here comes the band. You'll hear it coming down the street as we begin the South Rampart Street Parade. Okay. Edward Kennedy Ellington grew up in Washington, D.C., the son of two piano players. His mother taught him manners, and because of his noble refinement and fashion sense, his childhood friends started calling him Duke. So Duke Ellington's music is sophistication itself. This medley, called Duke Ellington, with an exclamation point, includes Don't Get Around Much Anymore, Do Nothing Till You Hear From Me, Sophisticated Lady, and It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Certain Je ne sais quoi.
minute, we'll be back in a moment. So, I'd like to bring out now our next performances. I'd like to bring out so, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Universal African Dance and Drum Ensemble. Okay. They were so good they blew out the system. How about that? All right. So we'll just work around the speaker. So we'll all have to speak a little louder. Can you all hear me okay right now? Yep. All right, great. So before we go back to the performer, I'd like to introduce to you a wonderful spoken word artist that's been popular throughout New Jersey, and we're happy to welcome him back here to New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. James C. Ellerbe.
How's everybody? Can you hear me? Nope. Okay. Okay. Y'all can hear me? I don't need the mic. Well, I do need the mic because they're recording. Yeah. So, thank you for coming to this Juneteenth celebration at the Belmar Public Library. Once again, my name is James Ellerbe. I'm from South Jersey, a little further south. And thinking about what Juneteenth means and thinking about what it meant for Black people to endure slavery. And thinking about there were two principal ideals: a strong belief in faith and a powerful, powerful love for our people. And these are the same ideals that will bring us through this new climate and bring us to a new sense of freedom. So I wrote a poem about it called Free Me. Free me. My heart has been captured for so long. Unchain my heart like Ray Charles and join me in a sing-along of an old Negro spiritual. I need that miracle only a saint like you can give, so I may live again, be reborn, baptize me in your gospel. I am your disciple. What is your sermon? Chase these vermins from my mental. Purify this temple. Send your love from the outskirts and then make it residential. Free me. Give me my freedom papers. And if not, then send me on your underground railroad so I may escape to your love like Canada. I can't stand the thought of having these chains another day. I know you know I know you know the way. I know you know what to say. Let me be your runaway slave. Let me be your Senke, so you can give us free. And we can be as strong as El-Hajj Malik Shabazz and Betty Shabazz and overcome this Wizard of Oz they call America. Free me, so I may one day celebrate my day of Jubilee. And we can rebuild Black Wall Street, make something more concrete, a strong foundation with saving ourselves and then saving this nation, making 2026 feel like 1865. Make me feel alive again. With you, I will always win. Come release thee. Come unleash thee, so that my freedom can begin. Oh, oh, freedom. Oh, oh, freedom. Oh, oh, freedom. for me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my God and be free. Our people have been called with many names. There's one name that I actually love, and I believe it's an enduring name. Anybody know what they call a black person that's a nerd? A nerd. Wait, who said it? I think I heard it. Somebody said it, I heard it. Urkel. Not Urkel. Let me help you out. It's called a blurred. A black nerd. And I consider myself a proud black blurred. But as a blurred, we have our own blues. And so I wrote a poem about it called Blurred Blues. One of my fondest memories in middle school was to make something explode or bubble over onto my desk. Who would have thought that making a complete mess in my science class was beautiful? Who would have thought that dropping small toys to demonstrate Newton's law of motion was my version of dropping the science? A little black boy was able to experience life's conundrum without questioning his curiosity. But now, as a black man, I'm not allowed to have a curiosity? Like I couldn't possibly balance being black and having a love for science in the same hand. Like a black man is not allowed to have an imagination. Like a black man can't quander creation, planets, stars, black holes, and quasars. How dare I pick up a comic book and look in the pages and illustrations of imagination? Like comic books are just for white people. Like the X-Men were not an analogy for the civil rights era. Like today's society doesn't view us as an error, a problem, a mistake. Like COINTELPRO was not synonymous with the mutant agenda. You mean to tell me that kind of thinking is only reserved for white people? I guess a black man can't afford to squander his time on science, comic books, philosophy, and sci-fi. Was it not black women that gave the astronauts the mathematics to go to the moon? Was it not Ava DuVernay, the first black woman to direct a $100 million film? Was it not Ryan Coogler, who directed one of the highest grossing solo superhero films ever? Didn't one of the greatest boxers to ever live, named Joe Louis, not Mike Tyson, who said the highly philosophical phrase, "Everybody got a plan until they get hit"? But I'm a black poet who's relegated to writing one-dimensionally, but who happens to have a stigma to see life in the fourth dimension. Seldom recognized or mentioned amongst my own and others, forced to leave my thoughts at home when I know there's other blurs out there. I know I'm not alone. My blackness is infinite, just like my mind. It is infinite. It goes beyond black struggle and liberation. It understands that you can't have liberation without creativity and imagination. Just read Octavia Butler. Just read Tanana of Dew. Just read Milton Davis, W.E.B. Du Bois, and Maya Angelou. I guess I can't be black and think the impossible and resolve my pen to only speak about black struggles, to remain in a bubble while the greatest thinkers and creators reshape our time, only to be left behind. I guess I am a blurred that has truly lost his mind. Blurred blues. Thank you. Thank you. If you like that, I got some more poetry for you, so stay tuned, and also stay tuned for the next act and showing of this event. Thanks again.
All right, so we're going to go back to the orchestra. John Luckenbill will take it from here, and he'll go for a few more sets, and then we'll have James back in again. So if everyone wants to turn their seat a little bit, they can enjoy the front. John, take it away. You'll have to speak loudly.
Okay, thanks, Louise. I can do that. All right, I'm going to try this without the mic. Band member Gerard Wells grew up in the Matawan-Aberdeen Regional School District, and since 1995, he's been teaching instrumental music right back there where he grew up. He plays multiple instruments competently in orchestras, jazz bands, salsa bands, British-style brass bands, and concert bands like this. Did I leave anything out, Jerry?
Kazoo, no.
Kazoo, right. Jerry has performed and recorded with everyone from Ray Charles to the principal brass players of the New York Philharmonic. His love of music comes through in both his teaching and performance, as you're about to hear, as he solos on euphonium in Gabriel's Oboe from Ennio Morricone, by Ennio Morricone. Please welcome Jerry Wells. What's up? Okay. The famous opera Porgy and Bess by George and Ira Gershwin, based on the writings of DuBose Hayward, tells the story of the residents of Catfish Row, a tenement slum in Charleston, South Carolina. Now, George Gershwin traveled to the Outer Banks and learned the folk music traditions of the native Gula population, giving an air of authenticity to this music. And I should say that that music and the drumming they did on the mud is based on exactly the same African roots as the music you just heard from these wonderful drummers. We're going to do Summertime, I Got Plenty of Nothing, Strawberries, and It Ain't Necessarily So. Stevie. Born in 1950, blind from birth and raised in inner city Detroit, Stevie Wonder was a skilled musician by age 8. Do you remember him performing as little Stevie Wonder? How many of you remember that? Okay, cool. Well, by 1966, his soulful delivery of Uptight, Everything's All Right heralded his emergence as a first-rate composer and performer. In the 1970s, in his early 20s, he released the albums Inner Visions, Fulfillingness, First Finale, and Songs in the Key of Life, all Album of the Year with a slew of Grammy Awards. Here's a medley of these hits called Stevie Wonder in Concert, featuring Sir Duke, You Are the Sunshine of My Life, I Wish, and signed, sealed, delivered, I'm Yours. Big Band Bash features songs from the preeminent groups of the big band era. You'll hear Artistry and Rhythm, Tuxedo Junction, Moonlight Serenade. That's the song responsible for the baby boom, you know. Ellington's Take the A Train, and 1 O'Clock Jump, written by the kid from Red Bank, born on Mechanic Street, the inimitable Count Basie. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union waged a massive disinformation campaign against the United States. So in 1956, our State Department began hiring musicians like Dizzy Gillespie, Duke Ellington, and Louis Armstrong to perform abroad as cultural ambassadors. Now, no one sings Satchmo's What a Wonderful World like our very own Dorian Parriott, who for many years taught instrumental music at Asbury Park High School and long served as our local musicians union president. And I'd like to tell you also, his son is back from Carolina playing with us today as well. Junior. So please welcome Dorian Parriott.
The microphone's back on.
Oh, it's back on?
Yeah. There you go.
Check, check, check.
Perfect time.
I see trees. Oh, you can't hear it. Not working. I see trees green, red roses too. I may hear the news. All in one, eyes on you, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. I see skies on the trouble, oh, and then say, all of them like that. Oh, follow me. I see trees red and green, and I do. Well, they'll really sing, I love you. I see babies cry. Oh, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more you and I will ever know. And I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. Oh, what a world. Oh, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yes.
One and only Dorian Parriott. Since you saw Dorian, those of you who come to the concerts, he now turned 90 years old.
Oh my God.
Mike, he's a great entertainer. I just hope by 90 I'm on the right side of the
After this
track.
set, St. Louis Blues, when you're done with this one, they'll next song.
Okay, great. St. Louis Blues, we're one more. Okay, we've got one more for you in this set. The St. Louis Blues. It's a tune composed by W.C. Handy, who heard it in St. Louis, Missouri in 1892. he recalled, quote, "It had numerous one-line verses, and they would sing it all night," unquote. He used these simple, repetitive 12-bar blues to, quote, "combine ragtime syncopation with a real melody in the spiritual tradition." Now, 12-bar blues as in, you can have my husband, but don't you mess with my man. Yeah, you know that one. I can see some of you know that one already. Now, gospel and blues came out of the very same tradition. They had the same bassist, same musicians. So basically, the musicians who encouraged you to repent of your sins on Sunday morning were the same ones who compelled you to commit them on Saturday night. St. Louis Blues.
All right, everyone. Aren't they great so far? They're fantastic, right? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to bring in up for one more time Mr. James C. Ellerbe. There you go.
All right, back up again. So this next poem I'm going to do is an answer to a very important question. Where are you? Where are you? Not where are you as in where you live, but where are you in your existence? I think that's the fundamental question of life. Where are you? So I wrote a poem called You Are Here. No one chooses to be insignificant, but we can choose to be different. I choose to be like David, a man after God's own heart, minus all the running. Or like David Walker, it's time that I appeal to the kings and queens of your soul. To be a champion among champion, a Jack Johnson amongst unworthy contenders, to box out self-doubt, because you are here. You travel down dark roads through traffic jams. You are the light bulb in Garrett Morgan's traffic light. So stop making excuses while being caught red-handed making bad decisions. Slow down when in anger, or yell low so that your voice can still be heard. And don't just see green, go beyond the green. Go to your purpose, because you are here. Let every little black girl fly high to womanhood like Bessie Coleman, and dare the devil to try and steal your air show. Your passport is international, so passports to dry land make your presence felt, because you are here. But always remember, mind your business. Y'all didn't hear me right. Always remember, mind your business. Because a knowledge of business is like searching for diamonds, like miners in a minefield, mining their business. Be a madam like C.J. Walker, walking on millions, because your business belongs here. There's a reason why your spirit was summoned at these times, in these times, where your freedom and your self-reliance is synonymous with your being. Not just your physical. Activate your metaphysical to be intentional about your being, because your soul belongs here. Fear not the unknown. Write the book on your life, so you too can be immortal like Maya Angelou and do the impossible, because your soul told you it was possible. Don't worry about not having a lot of money or not having the right circumstance. Everything you need is right here and right here. They may have stole your ancestors away, but no one can steal your soul. Be bold. You're never too young or too old to work your passion, because you, just like your future, belongs not here, but right here. You are here. And for my final piece, as you heard before, I'm a blurred. And I love the comic book movies, comic books. And I find that these stories, they tell about individuals that are superhuman. But guess what? We all are superhuman. we all have superpowers. And so I wrote a poem about it called We Are Superheroes. We are superheroes. We are superheroes. So let no one steal your cape. Let there be no mistake, you have superpowers. You can soar above pain like the Falcon. You can punch holes in fears like Luke Cage. And no matter what people may say, the bulk of your power is inside you. It wasn't manufactured in a lab. You're not a mutation. You're a physical manifestation of something glorious, something majestic. You too can control storms like Storm. You were born beautiful, powerful, gifted, uplift your soul. Your neighborhoods are your Wakanda, and you are Black Panther. So save your fellow Avengers. Your name is Isaiah Bradley, the first Captain America. Like you were the first to create civilization, one of God's greatest creations on this earth. So take back your birthright, Esau. Climb, claw, fly your way out of the abyss. Assist anyone in despair. Dare to be incredible. Dare to be fearless, lest you be defeated by your own weakness. Secure your secret identity. The world doesn't need to see. Sometimes great things are done in secrecy. But most importantly, never give up. Tired of injustice, then decide enough is enough. Turn words into actions, dreams into goals. Hold yourself accountable, for the world needs you. Evil never sleeps. It wreaks havoc, disenfranchised lives, and will always live in a lie. Be the proof in truth. Be bulletproof. Be someone's lifesaver. Let no one steal your cape. Make every day an adventure. Venture to uncharted places. Pace yourself. Don't exhaust all your powers in one time. Even Jesus had to recharge. Be larger than life, like being the source of change. Put on your game face. Because the race, it's not for the swift, but for the one that endures to the end. You too will bend spoons with your mind. Combined with like-minded forces, you got a course to your destiny. Believe you can. Believe you must. Trust in your maker. For who's going to tell her that her life is worth more than a reality TV show contract? Who's going to tell him a gang is no place to find a father figure? Your purpose is bigger than you. Your superpowers are not meant for you. They're meant for your family, your neighborhood, your community. For everyone wants to be super. Everyone wants to be special. But be the change. Be the difference. Be superheroes. For God's sakes, just be. Thank you for your time.
Mr. James C. Ellerbe here. We are so happy to have him. Thank you so much, James. All right, before I turn it back to John Luckenbill to take us home, just a quick reminder, we still have some sandwiches, and we still have some cornbread, and we have some little cupcakes left over. So by all means, help yourself when you get a chance before you go. All right? And with that, John, please, take it away. Take us home.
Thank you. That's all right. All right, yeah, get the food before the band gets there. So Michael Jackson, the king of pop, is the most awarded individual music artist in history. Born in 1958, he made his debut with the Jackson 5 in 1964. Some of us are old enough to remember those early TV performances. An innovator throughout his four-decade career, he sold over 400 million records and influenced almost every genre of music. Now, this medley features I Want You Back, I'll Be There, Rock With You, Thriller, of course, and Man in the Mirror. Got it right that time. Just a few of Michael Jackson's many pop hits. Michael Jackson through the years.
On this piece, keep your eyes on our upcoming star. He is a star. Luke Farrell, a junior at Howell High School. with our next number, I would like to introduce some of the soloists that you heard throughout the night.
Right before your last one. Okay, I'd like to take a minute to thank everybody on the staff that's been here and everything. So right before your last set, I'll come up, I'll do this. Okay? All right, I'll look for it.
Langston on trombone. And of course, you heard our great soloist, Dorian Parriott. Very well. On the trumpet solo played by Janet Bender.
Okay. Dixieland developed in New Orleans at the start of the 20th century. The essential elements of Dixieland jazz were solo trumpet, trombone, and a clarinet, and ensemble improvisation over a two-beat rhythm. There was a revival of traditional Dixieland jazz in the 1940s and 50s as a reaction to the orchestrated sounds of the swing era and the chaos of bebop. Celebrating the original Dixieland style, going back to its roots, the band presents Dixieland Jamboree featuring our own second line soloist. Do you remember the second line? With the tunes Copenhagen, Basin Street Blues, and of course, When the Saints Go Marching In.
composers, Ronald and Luke Farrell. And if you wonder why Luke is such a good drummer, that's his teacher right over there.
All right, before we go on to their last set, I just want to take a moment to ask for a round of applause for our wonderful library staff over here, been setting up and serving the food. We got Debbie Graham, Patty Fognell, we have Joyce Liz, we have Lorraine Walsh, and we had earlier Gisela Rodriguez Hernandez was here earlier today as well. So also I want to give a round of thanks to our active and engaged Board of Trustees, who without their support and direction, we couldn't have this show tonight. So thank you all for everyone there. Thank you all for coming. Make sure you follow us online for the upcoming summer concert series we got going on. You can check us out on our website, belmarlibrary.org. With that, thank you very much. John, it's all yours.
Thank you, Louis. We've really enjoyed presenting this rich cultural history to you and sharing the stage with such fine artists. While we've specifically honored Black composers and performers today, we want you to know that every single piece we've performed is in this band's regular summer repertoire. So it's an integral part of a shared heritage, and we're very proud of that. For that vision, let's thank our music director, Mr. John Luckenbill. So happy Juneteenth, everyone. And it's the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing.
Please stand. blue chair. Let's have a hand for Louis who put this whole thing together.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show tonight. Please once again stop by everybody last minute food watch and also stop by James Ellerbe's table over there. Check out his stuff. Thank you again for coming tonight and have a great evening.